Hello everyone, so it's a beautiful summer morning here, and today we're going to be taking a look at some perennial plants that flower for months, not for weeks. So these are plants that really start to come into their own, I would say, at the start of summer and through midsummer, and from that point onwards they will just keep flowering for months on end, especially if you take care of them properly, and just give you so much colour and so much joy and interest in your garden throughout the year. So, without any further continuation, let's check these out. If you haven't already, definitely do consider subscribing. I would love to have you as a part of our gardening community. So why don't we start things off with our first, which I love, and to be fair, it is starting to slow down a bit now. It's not quite as vigorous as it was at the start of spring, but this is GM Totally Tangerine, which is a fantastic perennial. It likes most types of soils. It enjoys partial shade or full sun. And as you can see, it's got these beautiful yellow flowers. Now, if you deadhead this plant right to the bottom, it'll keep throwing flowers up. I have seen a few people in my comments say that theirs has stopped, but it's still got such a long season that even if yours does stop, I can imagine it's still probably provided you with a lot throughout the year. But if it is stopping, there could be a few reasons. One might be how dry it's been in a lot of places. It does still need to be kept topped up with water, really, especially if it's still growing. And also it does need that deadheading. If you're not deadheading it properly right to the bottom of the stem, it's not going to shoot up with more flowers. I mean, if I just chopped off each individual one, that's not really going to do anything, unfortunately. So yeah, it does need a degree of maintenance to keep it flowering for months. But mine has been flowering now since maybe April, and it's still going in July. So yeah, this is definitely a great example of the list. Next, we have Erigeron carvinskianus, which is a great ground cover plant, actually, and a great self-seeder. This prefers, I would say it prefers sandier soils, but honestly, it can tolerate most different things. Doesn't really need a ton of water, which is pretty great. And yeah, it's just got these beautiful little daisies on it, the pinks and the whites. It's great. This is just one plant, but it's already filled out so much. We also have some in a container here in this little urn, so it's great for containers too. And yeah, this is something that will basically flower from spring all the way to the end of the year. You can deadhead it if you want. Like, you can see there's quite a lot of faded ones on here. I personally never bother. I never really do that. I think the plant looks a lot more natural and nice, and it'll still keep throwing up flowers, as you can see on this one, whether you deadhead it or not. So this isn't something I would bother to deadhead. I think it'd be a waste of time, honestly, to go around and deadhead this so continuously. So yeah, this is absolutely one that I would recommend having in your garden. It's fantastic. Next, we have Nepeta. This one is Walker's Low. Beautiful purpley flowers with a great scent as well. Yeah, this plant will continuously flower from late spring all the way until the end of the year, and I really love that about it. Now, with these, I did give them actually a Chelsea chop, which, in case you didn't know, basically you chop them by half in spring, late May sort of time, and then they'll come back for a second flush of flowers. So if you do that, they can flower literally all year long, which is crazy. So this is an example, in my opinion, of a fantastic perennial that's great for ground cover, can tolerate droughts, it can tolerate quite a good amount of water as well if you do have wetter soil. It's loved by the pollinators. Yeah, there's so much about Walker's Low, Nepeta, and the other varieties of Nepeta that I absolutely love. Now, I did want to mention there are lots of different varieties of Nepeta, but Walker's Low, in my opinion, is by far the most vigorous. You also have some called, I think, Cat's Pajamas and Persian Blue, you know, all kind of cat names. But they're not nearly as vigorous as Walker's Low and Six Hills Giant. Those two are the ones I always recommend because of just how much they give. They give so much. And like I said, with a good cutback, they will just keep coming back. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of them. I think they're really great. Turning around, we have the beautiful Verbena bonariensis, which is a great perennial for height in your garden. I think it's absolutely wonderful. It's got these sort of purpley, very gentle looking flowers. This one here is actually quite short, but over here we've got one that's a lot taller. Just trying to capture it with all the sun going on as well. But yeah, I love it. Verbena is one of those plants that's very low maintenance. You don't need to water it very often. It doesn't even really need staking, to be honest with you, especially if it's surrounded by other plants, which is definitely fantastic. And like I said, it provides you with that height, which is really nice. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Verbena bonariensis. I think it's one of those great, you know, staples, really. It's become such a staple in so many people's gardens now, and you can really see why. Pollinators love it, by the way. Bees, butterflies, especially butterflies, love it. In fact, I think it should be called the butterfly plant because they're always all over my verbenas in the gardens. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Verbena bonariensis. One thing I do want to note is if you don't like self-seeding perennials that kind of seed all around the garden, you won't like Verbena because it's one of the most prolific of all time when it comes to self-seeding. However, if you do like free plants and you want to sort of, you know, dig them up and put them wherever you like, or, you know, do whatever with them, then you'll love Verbena. It is a fantastic self-seeder. If we head over here, we've got Echinops. This Echinops is just going to flower basically from July all the way until the end of the year. And it is a plant that I've learned you can actually deadhead as well. So if you sort of cut it back at a certain point, it'll throw up more flowers. You can kind of see some smaller ones developing all the way down there, but no need to deadhead this for ages. It'll just keep flowering and looking beautiful for a long time. Despite it looking like this, it's really great for pollinators. They do love it, despite the fact it is actually quite spiky. And I just think it's fantastic. I think it's such a great perennial. It's great for dry gardens. It doesn't need to be watered basically ever, really, once it's established itself anyways. So yeah, Echinops is a really, really fantastic one. It also gives you decent height. It's not as tall as Verbena, but it will give you a sort of medium kind of height and stand above most other plants, which is really nice. Next to it, we have the beautiful Echinacea, which again will just flower for months on end and keep throwing up more flowers throughout midsummer right until autumn, basically. And I think it works fantastically with the Echinops, don't you? I love this combination of the blues and the pinks. I think it's so wonderful. Yeah, I really, really love Echinacea. It was something that I actually had trouble growing in the past, and I think maybe that's because I overwatered them. I think these are plants that really don't appreciate that at all. So if you want to keep these, you do need fairly dry soil. That being said, if they're still growing and developing in your garden, you do need to water them. I do want to emphasize that when plants are new in your garden, they do still need water and maintenance and such. So even this Echinops, which is only a year old, I will still water a bit. Obviously, once it gets a bit older and it's been around for longer, I'll probably stop. But for now, these sorts of plants definitely need to be kept topped up with water in your garden. It's really important. If we come over here to get a good view, we can see my beautiful Achillea cloth of gold, which is a very, very tall Achillea with these beautiful yellow flowers. Now, this plant will literally flower almost all season. It's really, really great. It's been flowering basically from, I would say, mid-June, and it'll keep going probably with these beautiful colors all the way until it's a really tough one. Let's say maybe September. So it's a really, really good one that flowers for months on end. I think it looks fantastic with the perennial grasses here and the verbenas mixed in. Yeah, it really stands out. It's a bit of an unruly plant, so you need to have a good amount of space. This is a pretty big flower bed, so thankfully it's kept in check. But if you have a small garden, this plant might not work as much. You definitely need to have lots of space to be able to have it. And do keep in mind, it does get very tall. Apparently it's a good self-seeder as well. I haven't really seen any, but that's what I've heard, so I thought I'd share that. Next to me, we have the beautiful Agastache Blue Fortune, which is another absolutely wonderful perennial that will flower for months on end. Again, an absolute pollinator magnet. It'll go a bit more darker purple than this, which is really nice. So yeah, I'm a huge, huge fan of Agastache. I think it actually might be my favorite perennial. I just love how these sort of they sort of stick up like rods almost. I just think it's such an interesting look. It's got such beautiful colors, and yeah, it's wonderful. It doesn't get too tall either, and it spreads out decently. But I think having, you know, I've got 3 plants here mixed in, and I think that's a really good impact. So yeah, this little corner with the Agastache is something I'm really, really pleased with at the moment. And I can't wait for the colors to kind of turn a bit more darker purple, as it's quite light at the moment, which isn't usually what you get from these. Whilst we're here, I do want to give a huge shout out to Kingsyard for sending me their beautiful bird feeder. They sell all kinds of different bird feeders, including squirrel-proof bird feeders, which might be very useful for a lot of you who've been struggling with that. Obviously, a lot of us are feeding our birds less throughout the summer, but that doesn't mean there aren't certain things you can supplement them with, which is really nice. And these feeders are absolutely fantastic. As you can see, they've absolutely cleared this one out. I've got to give it a nice clean now, but they've been absolutely loving it. So if you do want to purchase it, you can use my code on screen. I will link it down in the video description. Doing so, of course, does help out the channel. And yeah, a huge thanks to Kingsyard for sending this out. So those are some of my absolute favorite perennial plants which flower for months on end. Do let me know in the comment section what some of your favorites are, what you've got in your garden that flowers for months, not weeks. I would love to hear. And like I said, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here.